Family caregivers, have you forgotten this essential step in the diapering process? Adult diapers need this component, or else you're going to have tons of skin problems. And once those skin problems start with older adults, you end up with skin breakdown. And skin breakdown leads to bed sores. That is somewhere that you don't want to go. Today, I am going to help you not make that mistake. I'm Nurse Karen, and I've been a nurse for 30 years, helping take care of older people for 33 years and keeping them as safe and comfortable as possible. And now I'm on a mission to make you the best caregiver out there. So, what do we as professionals know is the most important step? Well, there are two ingredients to that important step. The first thing that I always try to remember to do with people who are in a adult diaper or adult pull-up is to make sure that we're using some type of barrier cream. In younger people, this probably isn't as big of a deal because they've got good skin and their skin doesn't break down easily. But when you've got a population over 65 who've got other health problems, who are sedentary, sitting in chairs, their skin breaks down easily. You know, even without a diaper, it's easy for them to get a skin tear. They just rub up against something and next thing you know, they've got a little tear, a little sore. They bruise easily. That's part of aging, is our skin just isn't as strong as it is when we're young. And so when somebody's wearing a diaper or a pull-up brief, we've got to think about how to keep their skin in a good condition, because that's urine or bowel movement sitting on the skin causes further skin problems. And it is important to make sure that you're wiping it clean. You know, I read a post not too long ago and someone said that you couldn't use wipes, disposable wipes. I felt bad for that person. Somebody had told them that they had to use soap and water, and they were trying to use soap and water in the bed to keep that person clean. And soap and water is a great thing, but wipes work great. There's no reason not to use a disposable wipe. There's lots of brands out there. This one is just one of the many ones that I've used. You know, the ones that people use for babies work great. Something without scent is my preference. So that's the first step in making sure that you get good skin condition when you're wearing adult briefs of any sort, is to make sure you keep things clean. So with every diaper or brief change, make sure you're wiping clean to make sure that skin is clean. But what's that important ingredient that I talked about in the beginning? And that is a barrier cream. And this is actually the same thing. It comes in a tube or in a tub, and this is called Lantiseptic. There are a lot of different barrier creams out there, and everyone has their personal favorite. I've heard of A&D. I've used Beg Balm. I've used zinc oxide type based ones. Whatever one you like the best works great. This is my favorite though. I love Lantiseptic. It just seems to help protect their skin and heal it the best. And that's why I like this one. This one I think is a little more economical because it's in the big tub. But for cleanliness, I do like this one better. So when I'm using a tub, I make sure that my hands are clean. And by hands, I mean my gloves, because I always wear a pair of gloves when I'm doing diaper or adult brief changes. And I make sure I put on a clean glove before I open up the tub and stick my hands in there. That's what it looks like on the inside. This is a brand new tub, so it doesn't have any holes in it yet, but usually you just stick your fingers in there and get a little bit out and wipe it, apply it to the buttocks region, the whole peri area. Anywhere that they're red, make sure you put this on, otherwise anywhere inside the diaper. But make sure that you are being careful not to move bowel movement stuff up into the frontal area for women or even on men. Make sure that you get to the backside last. So I do like the tube because I think it stays cleaner, because you just do one squirt onto your fingers and you're not sticking your fingers into that tub. So this is my preference, is to have something in a tube, but you know, either way works. And so this is Lanaseptic. It's my favorite. It really is. It seems to keep the skin clean, keep it healthy, and then if you do start to get some redness and breakdown, this helps get it cleared up the best. But so my one secret ingredient that I love to use is for somebody who has redness and itching. With the itching, that means they probably got some type of fungal infection going, and that's very common to have. Women get fungal vaginal infections all the time. They use monostat cream or whichever they prefer, and you can use that cream to help with this. But it's that moist, warm environment that helps the yeast to grow, and that really is the fungal infection. And so this one is the one that I've been buying lately for someone that's living with me currently. And it's just athlete's foot cream is what it says on the outside, but it's just a fungal cream. And I actually get this one for only like $3 at Costco. So think about putting this. So what I do when someone has redness and itching that just doesn't seem to go away after a day of the regular barrier cream is I go ahead and I apply this to the skin first. Make sure the skin's dry. Put this on once or twice a day, and then I put the Lanaseptic over the top. So I actually use both when they are having the signs of a yeast or fungal infection. And that is my best cure for those types of diaper rash that you would call in young babies or in young children. We call that diaper rash. In older people, we usually don't use that term, but it's the same idea, and the antifungal works great to help with that. And what if you've got the start of what looks like it's going to turn into a bed sore because you missed you didn't put the cream on? Well, make sure you're putting this on. As long as the skin is still intact or just slightly disturbed, you can put the Lanaseptic, and it's amazing. It actually, for me, has worked better than some of the dressings that people put on. The problem with the dressings is that bowel and urine get up inside of it. It's hard to keep those dressings clean. And so sometimes I've had better luck with just going ahead and keeping the skin really clean and keeping the barrier cream on. So I hope that helps. If you have more questions about adult diapers, check out my other video. I talk about how to change briefs in bed, and that seems to help people a lot. I love helping people. So if you have more questions about briefs or about caregiving, check out all my videos. And if you would like to get my diapering resource about adult diapers, then make sure you put diaper in the comments down below.